spending bills. House Speaker John Boehner coming out swinging, clearly frustrated with the finger pointing.
Are you really going to ask such a stupid question? Listen, you know, they started this yesterday. It's all about funding. It's all about funding. Well, obviously, it's not about funding. The train was going twice the speed limit. Adequate funds were there.
So here are a few of the numbers behind Amtrak's funding. Amtrak gets roughly $1.4 billion from taxpayers annually. It loses some $333 million. And the most profitable lines include the Acela and Northeast Regional. Joining me now, our political panel, Lisa Booth, Senior Director of the BlackRock Group in Washington, and Simon Rosenberg, President and co-founder of NDN and a former Clinton campaign advisor. So, Simon, what do you have to say for yourself with regard to defending fellow Democrats who immediately went on the bandwagon, and other members of the media as well, saying, oh, it must have been an infrastructure thing, you know, the train must have, the tracks must have fallen apart, we need to spend more money on Amtrak. Turns out the guy was going 106 miles per hour.
So a couple things, Gretchen. It's good to be here. And first of all, my heart goes out to the families who've lost loved ones and who were injured in the crash. But I do think it's important to recognize that there is a highway. But the context of this is there's a highway funding bill which is stalled and been stalled now since last year that puts as much as $50 billion a year into our roads and bridges. And then it looks like we're going to run out of money for investing in basic infrastructure in the U.S. And so I think there were well-intentioned calls to try to get this moving so we can get the money out to the states needed to have a modern infrastructure in the U.S. And so that's been a lot of what's been going on the last couple of days.
All right, Lisa, how do you respond to that?
I think that these calls are not well-intentioned by any means, and John Boehner is absolutely right. And quite frankly, I think it's downright shameful that Democrats are using this tragedy for their own political gain. You know, and this knee-jerk reaction is exactly why Americans hate Congress. But look, Amtrak was created with the intention of it being a profitable enterprise, but it absolutely has not. Over the past 45 years, taxpayers have spent over $45 billion subsidizing unprofitable routes, overstaffed trains, and mismanagement of food services. So if anything, Congress should be investigating how Amtrak is spending taxpayer funds.
Well, what do you say? You know, that's actually a really great point, Simon. I mean, part of this equation is the waste and the inefficiency in this government-funded organization. Is the answer to privatize it?
I don't know about that, but I think it's very common here in the United States, in most cities and in most cities around the world, that public transportation is a public good. It's funded by the government. I mean, most cities have rail systems that are not profitable, that lose money, that it's considered to be a public good to be able to move people around to jobs. It's the basis of how our economy works. That's why roads and bridges and rail are paid for out of public money.
Well, that's fine,
the way it's always been.
Lisa, why can't they operate within a budget then and not lose money every year? It's always like, oh, we need more money, even though there's never an investigation into how they're inefficiently running the business. Lisa.
Well, and Gretchen, you absolutely hit the nail on the head, and that's the problem here. But look, this is Democrats' solution to everything. Let's throw more money at the problem. Remember the $1 trillion stimulus? The majority of that money was supposed to go to transportation projects, but the problem is government can't spend money efficiently. Look at with the Highway Trust Fund as well. It's been incredibly mismanaged over the years. So the problem isn't additional funding. It's ensuring that we're spending federal funds efficiently.
All right. I got to wrap it there, guys. Simon and Lisa,
sure.
Thanks for your thoughts.